always good to have Coach James Young with us, talking rack, and there is a lot. We usually, this is the week, Coach, where I think people who maybe they know college basketball has started, but they haven't really gotten to check in yet because there's so many other things going on. This is usually the week where they at least dip their toe in the water and see what's going on, because some of these holiday tournaments, they got some heavy hitters. I mean, this Maui, I know they're back on the Big Island this year, and it is a great field that's underway with UConn this afternoon. So we love the Maui, Coach. You got a bunch of others. I know Kansas and Duke are playing in Vegas tomorrow night. There's just a bunch of really great games this week.
Yeah, they really are, Carver High. And if you really look at it, we'll talk about it a little bit. There's a great game tonight. I mean, Auburn and Iowa State. I mean, this is I think number 3 and number 4, and number 4 and number 5 in the country, especially after Auburn getting that big win over Houston last week after the Flygate, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, I think when you get the feast week, right, when you get the Battle for Atlantis, when you get the Maui Invitational, you get the big matchup, like I said, in Las Vegas tomorrow night. This is when people start to pay attention as the college football regular season ends and college basketball kind of gets into that third week. That's when we start to kind of pick up steam when it comes to college basketball.
You certainly do. And by the way, UConn's down to Memphis in that Maui Invitational opener right now. 44-43 Memphis leads as they get going here. So we have a few games that we'll run through here, Coach, quickly. We have Fort Myers, where they've been playing games down there for the last few days. Beach Division tonight, Michigan and Va Tech. That's a 6 o'clock East tip. What do we like in this game?
I'm going to go with Michigan. I mean, Va Tech is 0-4 against spread the last 4 games. Dusty May brought in some guys to transfer into Michigan. I just think they're a little bit more battle tested. Virginia Tech's only had one game, I think, versus a Power 5, Power 4 team. Didn't go well. Give me Michigan minus 10.5. I think they get a big win.
The other game down there in Fort Myers, I believe, Coach, is the Xavier game. There's so many games today that it's tough to get through all of them. Xavier, South Carolina, that is the second game of that Fort Myers tip-off doubleheader after Michigan. Xavier minus 5.5 tonight, as that's moved from earlier today.
Yeah, with 6.5, it's kind of moved down a little bit, down a point. If you look at this team with Xavier, they've been a little bit more battle-tested. They had a good win over Wake Forest by 15, the team that beat Michigan. But if you look at South Carolina, beating Mercer by 12, there's nothing to write home about. I'm not going to talk about what they did talented, but the one time they played a team that was pretty decent, Indiana, lost by 16. I like what that is. I'm not that model. What am I saying? What Sean Miller's doing over there at Xavier. Give me Xavier minus the points.
I love the Maui, and you have one of the games featured here, which is, of course, this heavy hitter game, number 4 Auburn and number 5 Iowa State. Auburn at this very second, minus 4.5 with the 144.5 total. That's the third game of 4 in Maui today.
So this is where people are going to think I'm crazy, right? So Auburn averages about 87.3 points per game, and then Iowa State averages about 84 points a game. So where am I going? I'm taking the under. Carver High, simply put, these are 2 of the top 20 defenses in the country. Bruce Pearl, great coach, obviously. Usberger, great coach defensively. They hang their hats on the defensive end. And I think you're going to get a really tightly contested game. Give me under 140.5 in the contest tonight.
Now, quickly, Coach, what do you like in those other two? Because I know Michigan State's playing Colorado and UNC's playing Dayton. Those are the other ones. And by the way, I told you, UConn's getting a push here. This is actually like the first real team UConn's played this year. They're not playing New Hampshire, Sacred Heart, and Lemoyne today. These games are going to play in Maui. You're really going to find out about the 2-time defending champs.
No, and they're getting it right now. If you look at the fact that the 2 of your better shooters and Liam McNeely and Alex Carver are combined 3 for 12 from the floor, and so that's something you have to be worried about if you're Dan Hurley, is they haven't got pushed yet. But when you talk about the other 2 games in Maui, I'm going to go with Michigan State. I'm going to go with Michigan State minus the points, and I'm going to go with North Carolina minus points. North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, what has been out there, they played at Hawaii, so they've been out there a couple of days already. So I think that was smart by Hubert Davis getting them out there, because I know even going from the East Coast to the West Coast 3 hours is something. Going another 3 hours, that's a lot. Smart by Hubert Davis. He took advantage. Give me North Carolina minus the points.
I had the cover on Friday night. They won by 19 at Hawaii against them. So they played Hawaii Friday night, got there a little early. Nice job by them for that. All right, lots of NBA this evening. And then, of course, you have some NBA Cup tomorrow. Give me your NBA plays first, and then tell me about all the guys who are coming back tonight and tomorrow. There's a ton of guys who have been injured, all coming back at the same time.
Yeah, we're gonna go props today, Carver. Right? Simply props. Play number 1, Karl Anthony Towns, over 2.5 assists, over 5 in the last 6 games, 9 out of 15 to start the season. Carver, I simply put, I think he tries to take Joker off the bounce. You collapse the floor, kick out, look for Karl Anthony Towns over 2.5 assists. Next, Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people have been talking about him. Over 12.5 rebounds plus a 6 assist and minus 140. Listen, he's under 3 of the last 4 games. You're playing a poor defensive team in New Orleans that shoots a lot of threes, and you're going to want to run. Give me over 12.5 for Tyrese Halliburton. And lastly, DeMar DeRozan, over 3.5 rebounds over in his last 3 games. And you look at the matchup tonight, playing, the Thunder, they may bomb away from 3 a little bit, especially if you have to guard someone like Lou Dort, not a great shooter. Give me DeMar DeRozan. He hangs around, over 3.5 rebounds tonight.
It looks like, Coach, you're going to get Porzingis tonight, Durant and Beal tomorrow. I think Ja tonight. You're getting a lot of stars back here this week. And I know Wemby came back for the Spurs last night, too, and he missed a couple games.
Yeah, I think that the Ja thing's going to be interesting because they had been, 3-2 to the last 5, but he kind of drives that engine. That team I really thought would play well. Porzingis obviously now gets the Celtics whole, and I think that makes them even more dangerous. But you got to look at Beal and Durant. If they could stay healthy, Carver High, look what they did before these guys got hurt. If they could stay healthy, they can make a run. Carver High, the problem is they never stay healthy.